We're bringing the hospital outside of the hospital into your home. That's the best healthcare because now you're able to pivot in real time, get that predictive analytics early, and address your care. And I really think that's bridging that gap. This is such a good question. It really brings to light where my heart is. You see, I'm an emergency room doctor, and when I saw artificial intelligence come into play in healthcare, I thought, man, this can save lives. So much so that I was literally in this office and ChatGPT came out. And on that day, on November 22, I decided to write a book on how to use ChatGPT in healthcare. So I'm proud to say I'm that first person. But the real goal here is how can it change lives? What can we do? You see, my dad died of a heart attack and he died suddenly and no risk signs. There was nothing that we knew. He literally was here today and then gone tomorrow. On the other hand, my mother, she's an ultrasound technician and she scanned herself and by accident found cancer. And I thought, we need to change healthcare. We need to be more proactive instead of reactive. And that's why I love AI in healthcare, because it really brings that to light. The truth of the matter is, healthcare is under crisis. We're facing a global shortage of 10 million healthcare workers around the world. What that means is that millions of people will not have access to basic healthcare. It honestly breaks my heart. We need to do something, and to me, that something is AI. I truly believe that AI has the potential to help us during this crisis, help us navigate these waters. Now, I want to introduce to you this lovely lady, Courtney, and her dear son, Alex. You see, Alex was just 4 years old, and when this happened, his health began to decline. And when his health began to decline, like any other mother or parent, what do? You seek medical help. Well, this poor lady, she went to 17 doctors over 3 long years. 17 doctors. She talked to them, she reviewed, they did everything a doctor would do. Medical tests, MRIs, CAT scans, blood work. The doctors consulted with each other. This poor lady, seeing her son suffer. Think of a 5-year-old running around and all of a sudden now he can't walk. And nobody knows why. And it's been 3 years. Well, fast forward, she did what everybody would do. She did everything she could, but she's like, you know what? Let me enter this thing into AI. So she took all the stuff that the humans did, all the medical records, all the tests, all of that stuff, put it together. She put it into AI, and within seconds, it gave her the diagnosis. It did what 17 doctors couldn't. Granted, they took that information to put it together, so technically it's humans and AI. But my point here is, what a way to deliver healthcare. What a way to address this crisis. See, when I think of artificial intelligence, I see so much value that it brings into healthcare. Number one, the predictive analytics. A lot of us have these smartwatches, and I'm looking at it saying, you know what? I didn't sleep much last night, and I'm personally trying to lose weight. And so if my watch is saying, hey, Harvey, you didn't lose weight, then I know that tonight I really need to get my Z's in. If not, I'm going to keep gaining weight. And so that's a simple example how predictive analytics is helping me. The second, I love how efficient it is. If I'm using AI, I'm able to talk to you. If I'm your doctor, I'm able to look in you in the eyes and not worry about typing. But if I'm typing and not using AI and I have the computer system over here, I'm looking at you every other second and I'm missing time with you. And so the second is that efficiency, that ambient listening of the AI allowed me to take all that information and put it into AI. And like I mentioned, that precision diagnostic is the last one. There's so many stories right now of people not knowing what's wrong with them, but their doctors and patients together are using AI to figure out what it is. And I love that because that's saving lives. It's making me so excited. So bottom line, AI is helping us save time, help money, and most importantly, save lives. So the way companies can really use and leverage I call it, we need to know the good, the bad, and I jokingly say the unknown. For example, if I'm implementing AI into my organization, there's things that we need to know. Obviously, the governance, what is that data made of? Is it biased? Is it really addressing what you're trying to do? Case in point, I was in Germany at a dermatology conference giving a talk about how AI and helps with dermatology. And then I realized the data in the textbooks are of a certain population. The physicians are being taught a certain population. Therefore, the AI is being taught a certain population over all studies. That's creating bias. Not to say it may not diagnose that person, let's say of a different race, but they may not because it has never seen it. And so that's one important thing, that when we're implementing AI, we need to see, is it biased and is it going to be working for the goal? The second thing is it's a team approach. In healthcare, we need doctors, we need obviously patients, we need the C-suite, we need everybody in the front lines to really understand the problem and really address it with AI. If we don't, that AI may build something that it's not intended for, or that us in the front lines don't care for. So we need to make sure it matches. The third, and I think this is so important, we must integrate the culture of AI. And I know it's scary and I get it, but this is why I love giving these talks. It's the good, the bad, and the unknown. That way we're prepared for what the future looks like. And the last, not many people know about this, but there's something called AI drift. Think of it this way. Today, the AI is doing what you and I want for our company and it's doing it correctly. But with time, that AI model starts to drift. And as it starts to drift, it no longer does what it was intended for. So we need to have the right people, that team approach. Like they say, it takes a village to make sure that we correctly do this the right way. Well, great question. As an ER doctor, the number one thing I've noticed is when seconds count, when I don't have time to just go find that right information, I need to act quickly. And that quickly allows me to leverage AI. Let me give you an example. You're in Europe, I'm here in Dallas, Texas. If I start saying the example of football and healthcare, you're going to immediately think, in my world, soccer. We're in the different ballpark here. But if I'm leveraging AI to help me with my words, how I speak to you, give you the right examples, now you get it. The other part is, I have no stock in this, but there are many different devices. And these little devices is literally recording the whole conversation. In my first TEDx talk, I talk about how this technology can help us with discharge instructions. So basically, it's recording us, it's going through the conversation, but think of it this way. God forbid I give you a strong diagnosis like you have cancer. I know that in that second, everything goes blank. In that second, you're like, oh my God, he just said I have cancer. You go home and you speak to your husband and he's like, what did Dr. Castro say? And you're like, I have cancer. And it's like, well, what's the treatment? But you didn't hear it because you're still in your mind devastated by that diagnosis. But if we have a device recorded, and let's just take it to the next level with the AI, that it's me, my face, my voice, and we record the whole thing, and now you get a video of that discharge instruction. Now you can tell your husband, let's watch this together. I'm able to process this now. That's a simple way how I'm bringing it home. Second, I love these AI glasses. The AI glasses allowed me to take a picture, let me analyze. Going back to the emergency room, if you're speaking in another language, in real time, I can hear you in my English tongue. Amazing. And then as I speak, I can give you the glasses or an app that'll translate to you. And so now we're able to communicate, and when seconds count, that's so important. The other thing is my grandfather has macular degeneration. He's able to take a picture of the chessboard because we love playing chess. He's 95 years old, bless his heart. And with that, I'm able to look at this and say, wow, he's able to like tell me where the chess pieces are, and we're still able to play. And so he's still having independence. So how this is making a difference, I truly see the following. We're bringing the hospital outside of the hospital into your home. That's the best healthcare, because now you're able to pivot in real time, get that predictive analytics early, and address your care. And I really think that's bridging that gap. I've been traveling around the world, having a lot of fun, and I have something called accent envy. I don't like my voice. I really don't. And so now I can use AI to create 54 different languages, which is kind of crazy. So I got to show you a quick demo.
Don't worry, I'm here with you. Together, we'll manage this, and you'll be feeling better soon.
Now, I know some of you guys are like, that's creepy, but I think it's cool. Now, the other thing is I have a Hispanic population, and I got to practice my español, so...
No te preocupes, estoy aquí contigo. Juntos lograremos esto, y pronto te sentirás mejor.
And now for my Japanese patients, I was like, I got you covered.
心配しないで、僕が一緒にいるよ。二人で頑張れば、すぐに良くなるよ。
And now, the other thing is I have patients that are hard of hearing, and I want to reach out to them. I want to speak their language. I want to connect with them. So now I can take their discharge instructions, put it into AI. Man, now I can do sign language, which I still can't learn. But there it is. It's such a way to deliver healthcare.
The number one thing, I want people to walk away with a huge AI impact. And that's actually my acronym. H for hope. I want them to walk away with hope of, wow, I didn't realize that AI could do this. This is how it could change my industry. U for urgency. AI is not going anywhere, and it's affecting all of us. And I'm urgently encouraging everyone that we must use AI, or at least see how we can leverage AI for our particular needs. The G is for growth. We need to grow. We need to level up on our AI understanding, not just using ChatGPT and making images and memes. Let's use it for healthcare. My other example I gave you with the 5 senses, there's a technology of AI that literally smells. What if we put this AI in the airport, and let's say, God forbid, there's some biological outbreak, but the AI is smelling, being able to say, hey, anthrax was just released. We need to close this wing. We need to shut this airport down so this doesn't go everywhere. These are the things we need to do. And then the last is empowerment. We need to empower you with the knowledge. The more you know, the more you will do. The more you understand, the bigger impact you will have. And so that's why I call it huge AI.